All right, welcome into another episode of the Goodman and Hummel podcast. I'm Jeff Goodman. He is Robbie Hummel, and we got a great episode for you today, an absolutely terrific episode. We have not just one Hurley, we have both Hurley brothers. We got Danny and Bobby on, and Hummel's never really been around these guys, so this is going to be an interesting experience for Rob.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm surprised that they will agree to come on with you with all the shit you blow both of them, but yeah. I'm excited.
I mean, listen, I don't know why. I can't answer that question, but they'll be here. As far as I know, they're going to be showing up here in about 10 minutes. So make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe to the pod. Obviously, Goodman Hummel pod every single week. Robbie is back on his grind. I'll give you credit. Like, I make fun of you a lot. But you are grinding right now. You're everywhere. Between ESPN and BTN, you are everywhere. Last night, you were at the game of the night, and maybe, I don't know if it was the most controversial ending of the year, but certainly up there with Ohio State Rutgers and how this thing concluded with a game winner in which we saw a player Holden.
Tanner Holden just kind of goes out of bounds. He's just watching the ball, and he's unaware, I would say, of where he is on the court. It was a great game, and it's unfortunate that the ending, I think, was affected by a call like that, especially because Rutgers played so well. You could also make the case, though, that if Caleb McConnell makes the free throw, it's a moot point. The game is over.
That's right.
But I think when you go back and watch, I know there's a gray area with the officiating where you could make the case his momentum took him out of bounds. I disagree with that. I wish I had realized he made the shot. We showed the reaction of the players, and then it was like 20 seconds to off air. One replay.
Yeah.
And I was watching Thornton, and I think it's also tough when you're doing these games, that's on the other side of the floor, and you don't really look at your monitor. You're watching with your own eyes.
Right. You're watching the ball. Yeah, you're watching the ball.
And with the one replay I saw, I didn't even think about, well, maybe Holden was out of bounds. That never even crossed my mind. So I saw it after the fact, after the game ended immediately, and it's like, oh my God, that should have been out of bounds. I mean, he's out, he comes back in. I don't think he got 2 feet in, and it sounds like he can't be the first person to touch the ball anyway.
That's right. That's right. He went out. The only way it would have been legal is if he had kind of been pushed out or
forced out.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He was not forced out.
I'm really interested in, this is what, Friday. We're recording this at 10:52 Central. I have not seen a statement from the Big Ten. And I think they owe it to Rutgers to issue that. I mean, that's just to say, and not that it changes the game.
They're not going to.
They're not going to do that.
They never do that. I mean, I don't know when the last time they ever
that's probably, I don't think that's, I've never seen that happen.
Ever.
But I do think they owe it to Rutgers to say, all right, we made a mistake.
And we want to say, Rob, honestly, Roger Ayers might be as good of an official as there is on the planet.
Totally. I think it's a tough play to officiate because you're watching the ball. I don't know why Tanner Holden is just backing out of bounds. I have no explanation for that. However, I think the official's job is hard enough as it is. I think, and it's not that I know shit about officiating, but if it was up to me, I would say any game-winning shot is subject to review. It's like a touchdown in football. Every scoring play in football is – so if we're going to have a game-winning shot, you could review anything in the play. Right. And then it takes that away where they might – I think they went and looked at it for the clock, I believe.
Yeah, but they can't look at it for him.
No, I know. But I think they went and looked at it, and I'm sure when they did, those guys saw that and were like, oh, shit.
We screwed up.
They had to. I mean, they had to do that.
Yep.
But I think that we've got to help the refs in that situation. And if it's that important of a play, game-winning shot, last play of the game, everything's reviewable.
Listen, I could not agree with you more. I mean, that absolutely should be changed. Maybe it will be. I don't know. But you're right. Last, final play, everything should be reviewable. Everything's on the table for that. All right, let's move forward. We've got some month in superlatives that we're going to go through, kind of rapid fire here. Within about 5 minutes, we're going to bang through some of these, and I'm dying to get your take, to hear your take on a few of these. So let's start with probably maybe the hardest of all.
Yeah.
Okay. House on the line. You got to bet your house on one team.
This
right
is not
now.
how you said. Oh, you made it sound like it was the best team right now, not to win the national title.
No, I'm saying you got right now your house on the line for one team. Because right now, most people say, all right, Purdue, maybe the best team, Virginia, whatever. That's pretty easy. Let's look down the line and say, what's the one team? Right now, I'm betting, I got to bet my house on a future for one team.
So that's not the best team right now. You're saying the best team.
Right. I'm saying who you're going to put all the chips in on to win this whole thing. Who is it? Who is it? Who are you putting all your money on to win this whole thing this year?
This is It's an impossible question.
I know
this is a different question than what we talked about last night.
All right, well, you've got to adapt. Didn't Matt Painter teach you anything?
Yes. Shut up.
Adapt.
I mean, I had four teams in consideration.
Do you want me to go first? I'll buy you. I'll buy you.
No, I was just saying I had four teams in consideration for the best team right now of Purdue, Virginia, Houston, UConn.
Okay. Yep.
A futures bet.
Yep.
Christ. I will go Virginia. I love their defense. I think their offense is more than good enough to win. I like their guard play. They have a point guard who's won the national title. I'll go Virginia.
I'm going Kentucky. I know you're going to say like I'm crazy, but listen, they might have, to me, the best point guard and big man in the country. When it's all said and done, Cason Wallace might be the best overall point guard in the country, and Oscar Tshiebwe is the best big man in the country, or one of them. And then they've got shooters who, again, they got to get CJ Frederick going, but I'm going with Kentucky there. And they've got also plenty of motivation.
Did you pick them to win it all at the start of the season?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. I thought you did. No. I was going to say doubling down.
All right. Biggest surprise so far is who, Rob?
I'll go Maryland. I think Kevin Willard's done a phenomenal job. He took a core of players with Dante Scott, Julian Reese, Hakeem Hart, and he's mixed in some really good transfers with Don Carey, and really Jameer Young has been awesome. Ian Martinez has been good off the bench. I worry about their depth, but they've been terrific, and I've seen them a lot. So I'm going with Maryland.
I'm with you. I have Maryland too. I don't know who else you could pick. They're by far the biggest surprise to me because most people had them as an NIT team, and Willard's done a great job so far. Biggest disappointment.
This is easy. I mean, North Carolina.
Yeah. The only other one in the equation would be Villanova to me.
Yeah, but I mean, their injuries have certainly. Yes. I mean, no Whitmore. That makes it
That's
tough.
Right.
Carolina, with the expectations and the players they have back.
Yep.
All that, they are the hands down most disappointing team so
far. Biggest pretender, which is a team currently in the top 15 that you're not buying at all.
I am going to go with Auburn just because of their schedule. I mean, I looked it up last night. Their best win is against St. Louis, who's 54 on KenPom. They beat Northwestern by 1, who then went and lost to Pitt by 30. They just haven't played anybody. So until they do, I just can't feel good about saying that they're not a pretender in the AP top 15.
I can't believe we've now agreed on Maryland, Carolina, and Auburn, all three of them. I'm with you. Auburn.
I think every answer has been so obvious, though.
Yeah, they kind of have. I mean, Auburn, you could probably come up with maybe another pretender, but Auburn just doesn't. They haven't done anything to warrant being in the top 15. I don't have them in the top 15 in mine. I'm closer to like 22, but regardless. All right. Best early season coaching job is who?
I'm going to go Matt Painter. And I think you could go Danny Hurley. I think you could go Tony Bennett. But I think the way that Purdue is playing, the way their freshmen are contributing, I mean, Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith are studs. Yep. And Zach Edey has become Shaq. So I think the way that he's playing, I'd go with Coach Payne.
Yeah, to me, it's Painter, Willard, or Hurley. You can go with any of those three.
Yeah, and Kevin Willard should be in there too. Yes.
I'm going to go with Willard. Just because, again, the expectations were nothing. So I'll go with him. Player of the year, Zach Edey. No argument, right? I don't even know if there's anybody else. Who's 2? I don't even know who 2 is right now.
That's a good question. But the fact
Trace Jackson Davis, maybe?
He'd be in the conversation. I think the fact that Zach Edey has 9 consecutive KenPom MVPs is honestly – I want to know what the record is. I would love to know what the most consecutive that Ken Pom has ever had. But, I mean, he's been unreal. So I guess Trace Jackson Davis would be in that conversation. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who else would be there.
That's it for me. All right.
You have two guys?
We got to end this. We got to end this portion of it. We got to get to the Hurleys. They're waiting on us. We'll talk to you later. Goodman and Hummel podcast. Here is Danny and Bobby Hurley.